Hey guys, everything you can do to improve as a player and climb the ranks in League of Legends can be sorted into just 3 categories. We'll call this the ELO Triangle, and it's comprised of mechanics, game knowledge, and mentality. Now throughout this video, as I explain things further, I want you to rank yourself in each of the 3 categories as anywhere from a 1 to a 10. 1 being a beginner player, 5 being about average, and 10 being a professional player. Later on in the video, I'll show you how you can use these rankings to win more games instantly. So first of all, I'll explain mechanics. In League of Legends, your mechanics boils down to how well you can land your skill shots, the timing of your abilities and spells, how well you can control your character and dodge incoming abilities, and how good you are at last hitting creeps. You might be good at some of these things and bad at others, but I want you to pause the video right now and find a number that accurately describes your overall mechanics, keeping in mind that 1 is equivalent to a new player and 10 is equivalent to a professional player. Now we'll move on to game knowledge. This involves knowing how the game works and knowing what to do at any point in the game. Game knowledge consists of map awareness, how well you manage minions, so in other words knowing when to freeze lane, push lane, or build up a wave. Objective control, which includes things like rotations, dragon and baron calls, and trading towers for other objectives. Knowing when and where to ward. Knowing when and how to team fight, so if you should be frontline or backline, or if you should split push, group up and fight 5 versus 5, or assassinate the enemy. Knowing what every champion in the game does, and finally what items, runes, and masteries you should have. As a category, game knowledge is probably the most complex of the 3, but it's also the easiest to improve. So go ahead and rank your game knowledge like you did with your mechanics. Now, the final point in the ELO Triangle is mentality. Mentality consists of your attitude towards others and how you express that, so do you rage at teammates often, say nothing, or encourage them? It also includes susceptibility to tilting, which basically means do you let past events, whether they're from the current game or from previous games, negatively affect your current play or not. It includes your willingness to learn, which, since you're watching this video, is probably relatively high. And finally, your energy and motivation, which can be affected by many personal things, but most notably sleep. Now, for a final time, rank your mentality. Keep in mind though that everyone is very biased in regards to their own mentality, so your mentality is likely lower than you estimate it. Now that you have all 3 categories ranked, you can see what areas you're strong in and what areas you need to work on. To improve as a player overall, you'll need to work on all 3 aspects. However, being good in one category can carry you to a high rank even when the other 2 categories are low. The key to winning more games is to play to your strengths and to reduce the effect your weaknesses have on your gameplay. Here's how you do that. If you scored low on mechanics, you'll want to stay away from the AD carry and mid positions as they're widely considered the most mechanically intensive. Play top, jungle, and support on low difficulty champions, and you'll find that your mechanics will no longer hinder your ability to win games. To improve in the long term, practicing, whether it's through bot games, normal games, or even other video games, will result in significant improvements. Now if you score high on mechanics, you're going to want to gravitate towards the carry roles of AD carry and mid, as they'll allow you to be the playmaker and will magnify your strengths. You're going to want to go for the high risk, high reward plays, as they will be successful most of the time due to your high mechanics. Switching over to game knowledge, if you scored low, there are several things you can do. Avoid jungling and supporting, as map awareness, warding, ganking, and objective control are pivotal to doing well in these roles. Also, try to listen to your teammates more, as they're more likely than you to know the proper call in any given situation if you have poor game knowledge. To improve your game knowledge, the best thing to do is watch videos explaining in-game concepts and to watch streams of pro players. Now, if you have high game knowledge, you need to use this to your advantage. Being the leader and shot caller for your team, telling them when to go for certain objectives, and communicating via pings or text will greatly improve your chances of winning. Playing jungle, support, or even a roaming mid will ensure that your excellent game knowledge will cause you to have a positive impact everywhere on the map. Finally, if you scored low on mentality, you're going to need to make some changes depending on where your issues lie if you want to improve. Make sure you're playing the game because you want to play it, not because you want to improve your rank. If the majority of what you say in the chat is negative, challenge yourself to go a whole game without pressing the enter key. Refraining from creating a negative atmosphere will have an enormous impact on your win-loss ratio. Take breaks after every loss, and always remember that you make just as many mistakes as your teammates. Maybe not in one particular game, but averaged out over many games, your play will be quite similar to your teammates. On the flip side, if you scored high on mentality, push your strengths by creating a positive team atmosphere. Don't be silent, encourage your teammates and make sure they're having fun. Teams with a positive atmosphere will win significantly more than teams with a negative atmosphere that are simultaneously fighting their enemies and their allies. That sums it up for this video. I hope you gained some knowledge on how to improve as a player. If you'd like some more detailed descriptions of the things I've covered in this video, check out the rest of my videos. I'll be making many more in the near future, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.